Good morning, it is the 13th of February. Thank God it's not a Friday, it's a Thursday and it's 12:15. I wanted to do a new video output every so often, like little update videos about steemcasting. Now, steemcasting was an idea I came up with probably about a year ago, and obviously a lot has changed on the Steem blockchain. Conditions gone down. Never really brought in enough money every month from either my main job or from like blogging things. You know, we had the bear market that just like hit us like a ton of bricks for a couple of years, and so it kind of just got put on the wayside. But recently I've been looking into OBS stuff again, because I spend most of my time making either assets in ScreenFlow or OBS with the intention at some point to do live streaming. Now, I don't have the bandwidth, the internet connectivity, the hardware to actually do streaming of a certain quality, certain level, especially something like gaming and streaming, which I would love to do for many hours a day. I just don't have the kit. So I'm always thinking of things that I can join my hobbies together with play versus business versus money versus income. Not to make money, but to kind of sustain myself enjoying that, paying for my time to be able to enjoy that stuff. And who knows, it might go off into different strands as well. That's what normally happens with these things. So I kind of not looked at steemcasting for about 6 months now. I think the last time I posted on the account was 6 months ago. And recently I've been just looking at the whole like streaming niche and seeing what's going on with streaming. We've seen a lot of people move across to Mixer. We've seen people get picked up on YouTube. YouTube have also put out their financials in terms of how much money they're paying out to creators. And they've been snapping up creators left, right and centre. And you only have to look and read the tea leaves a little bit of the internet to see where things are happening. And it seems to be a big push this year for YouTube to get as many people on that streaming, on their platform as a streaming platform. They have the capacity, they have the reach. It's the most well-known, well-respected, most compatible in terms of embedding their YouTube embed anywhere on the web. I mean, you can even use YouTube on Steam just by copying the link in, and it's whitelisted to work. So it's familiar, it's mature, it's been out there a long time. It just didn't do well. It launched its gaming component, which they ended up shutting down because it just didn't do anything, didn't go anywhere as well as Twitch. But I'm starting to see things changing. I'm starting to see people getting picked up from Twitch to Mixer, and people from Twitch going to YouTube and signing like $2 million contracts for a few years. To be the face of their community, or at least their little section of the community. So I also was looking into how people are doing live streams in general now. And one thing that really caught my attention was the way that IRL streamers operate in terms of A, running their business, B, doing live streams, and C, having some continuity to all of that stuff. So I'm finding that a lot of these streamers are using OBS in the cloud, or they're using some kind of cloud service to maintain their main feed and their IRL feed. The IRL feed may be some kind of IRL backpack that they've got all set up, but they're streaming that into a cloud service. And the reason for that is that if they have any lag or latency, or it drops, the connection drops while they're driving around, they can get it to automatically switch back to a scene, or they can have all their overlays and all their subscription stuff all happening on top of the stream, even though they're not doing that on the mobile. They're only just sending that stream in. So if the mobile stream fell over, then the connection would drop, and then all the people that are watching would go off and do all the things. But this way, you can kind of have some continuity to it, because you could start off in the home office or the business where you've got all your streaming gear. Then you can go IRL and just switch from one connection to another connection, and then come back, and it's all kind of seamless. And I looked at that and I was thinking, that's something that we kind of need for steemcasting. We need a way to be able to tell the story, the narrative of how crypto fits into your life, because it's not just green and red candles. It's not just about accruing, stacking sats and money and flipping it and ending up with more money. There's actually applications and utility in these blockchains that can help people build in extra redundancy, oftentimes better security, and to just damage limitation. You know, like if you look at the way that that hacking has cost something like 3.5 billion, I think it was last year, having your content on these distributed services rather than centralized, there's just a lot less focus on an attack vector on a particular surface area of a site, rather than just 100, 200 nodes all having a copy of that data and building in some kind of round robin thing to be able to pick up bits of that data if services go down. So it just builds in reliability and redundancy, and I think those things are the things that keep on coming up a lot to me, is the reliability, redundancy, and reputation. Right, those things on the cloud are huge at the moment. If you can maintain those 3 R's, then you're doing pretty damn well, because having anything that stays up long enough on the web in itself is a challenge. So I've been looking at OBS in the cloud. There's a bunch of services that do that. They're not cheap. I'm hitting the same wall as I hit with frame.io. Frame.io was, I was going to make the content in 4-hour chunks, upload it to frame.io and let that run for 24/7. Very constrictive in terms of it's just a schedule. So once something's running, it's running. I didn't really know how I was going to interrupt that with a live stream. So this kind of OBS in the cloud, like a virtualization of OBS, having like a desktop machine that I would normally stream to, but in the cloud, means that I can operate that from anywhere. And if you have a trusted group of people, they can like SSH into that interface or that instance, should I say, and add their own content to it. Or maybe we can build in some additional services to that. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. And then I was thinking about virtualizing NDI sources. So NDI is a technology by NewTek, which is a codec, a protocol, which allows you anything that's NDI enabled to grab the video and the audio in a really simple way, because that's one of the things that's an issue with streaming often, is that it can be kind of complicated to set up. So NewTek realized this, so they built this specification, and it's very, very reliable, very, very strong connection in terms of, it's better than RTMP, for instance. And they've built a bunch of applications around it for multi-platform, so that you can grab a local network streaming NDI stream easily into applications. So there's like an OBS plugin and stuff like that. But it got me thinking, because I was thinking of these virtual OBS in the cloud, it got me thinking about, is it possible to virtualize NDI? So what I mean by that is that if the video camera is on your local network, that's great, because you can connect to it through the IP address on your local network, because it gets designated a DHCP, or you can just have a static IP address on it, and you can bring it into OBS and you get the audio and video in one thing, which is great. But wouldn't it be great if I wanted to do multicam with like 4 or 5 people, if they all had NDI cameras and we were all on a virtualized local network? So effectively you're seeing that camera local but across the web. Now you have to take into account latency and internet connections. You still got all the same issues of upload and download speeds, but it would be easier to integrate and a little bit more reliable, and probably make it easier to do handoff if you wanted to do shows from one person to another person, instead of switching from one person's stream or having the login details to log in and acquire the stream for a while. You could just have the stream running 24/7 and then just connect in and kind of take over and do a handoff from one video stream to another video stream. I just think it could be kind of interesting, and it could be great as well for conferences and webinars. Other things I wanted to quickly say, I think to offset the costs on this, some kind of streamer store for blockchain applications. The reason why I'm on about this is that streamers have got a hell of a lot of retention and engagement time of people watching them. So why not have something very specific for blockchains on there? Maybe it's some kind of ticker, and maybe you could sell that module as a ticker for a live stream that can be written in Python, and you can bring in as an OBS source, and maybe charge a subscription per month using like a JSON transaction on the Steem blockchain to prove that you paid your subscription for the month for that module. So I've been thinking that these things have been ruminating in my mind for a while, and now I'm starting to get to a point where it's like I should probably act on some of these. Last two today, YouTube is investing hard right now. I think there's a lot of money being pushed into making YouTube the default place to stream on the web. There's a lot of leagues have moved over from Twitch to YouTube. And then finally, decentralized hosts. I think we need to start seeing some of these decentralized platforms like Vim, for instance, offering something different, something unique, something custom to sway streamers from other platforms. Like, I think Vim has only got one like streaming server, for instance, one ingest server, for instance. So something where a person can come there and guaranteedly get a 24/7 server with around the clock like support on a Discord channel, and I pay a certain amount of money per month for it, and I get my own kind of front end that looks like Vim but custom to me. I think that could be a way to poach some of these people who are getting disenfranchised with Twitch or Mixer, and they want to have something completely custom to them that they can completely customize every part of it. Building a front end to service what they need right now, but then also have modules around the edge that are specific to the Steem blockchain, for instance. I think that would be a good way to go, because I don't think you're going to get a big streamer just go, oh, I'm going to go stream on Vim now. There's just a lot of features that Mixer, Twitch and YouTube have that Vim won't have, because they just don't have the money or the engineering team. So how do we get people to look into Steem and blockchain technology? Well, we kind of need to package it in a certain way that makes them go, oh, well, none of the other services that I've got provide that. Maybe I should go it alone and make my own community, make my own kind of YouTube. And Vim could be really good for that if we build this like shop element in there as well. I don't know, just ideas floating around in my mind. I've still not given up on steemcasting. I'm trying to get as many ScreenFlow packs up as possible, and then any little bit of residual income that I make on any of these things I will put into doing a bit of development with this OBS in the cloud. And even if I put up something that's just like a 24/7 test stream to check for bandwidth and capacity and reliability, that'd be better than what I've got now, which is like I haven't got a machine to be able to do something like that on, or connectivity to rely on to be able to do that. So something in the cloud that I can just pay a flat fee for every month, and though it's pretty private and pretty reliable, that would be massive as a sandbox for me to play with. So all right, don't forget to subscribe if you want to get more of these updates. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've been trying for 15 years. No, that's not true. I've been probably trying for about 2 or 3 years. I've been on YouTube for about 15 years though, but I would like to get to that algorithmic level that YouTube has set. All right, I will catch up with you soon. You have a fantastic day. If you're into live streaming or anything like that, and you don't know anything about blockchain, and you're kind of knowing what I'm on about or interested in what I'm about, leave a comment below, and I'll try and get back to you. All right, I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.